I'll watch it first.
Observe, connect, conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform, comply, return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe, connect, conceal. I'm not human anymore. Return.
But what Bungie used to do is what's it called? There was this whole thing on where we were going to be with Witch Queen. And what ended up happening was we didn't get Witch Queen. We got what's it called? Instead of going to Old Chicago, we got Throne World. Which people thought we were going to Old Chicago, which was interesting. Now we're actually going to the world, or what's it called? To Kepler. But this is very Old Chicago feeling like, and I feel like this is where they said on Kepler stuff is getting pulled from different dimensions at different time periods, or not time periods specifically, but I feel like that's a theory that is pretty sound. At least we're getting the past, the present, the future, some things from Throne World, stuff like that, some things from other places. Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting, and I feel like one of these places that they took inspiration from was the idea of Old Chicago.
Guardian, I had a vision.
Okay. You love the ship. I don't know. It doesn't really say. It's just an aircraft carrier, but we don't know exactly where that's from.
Which is comply, return.
Okay. So some of this stuff is reused assets, and I can tell you almost immediately where this comes from.
Conform, comply, return.
Like that looks straight up like the thing in Neomuna. Like that little hub next to where you do the Vex installation. Oh fuck, what is it? Not Essie. The bottom half of what's it called? The what was it? The world space, or whatever you want to call it. The open world portion of the map of Neomuna this is literally just looks like that, and I could kind of see the reused assets in that. Wasn't necessarily this is straight up from this straight up looks like something from what's it called, Europa. Like this looks like the final boss areas where you fight Aramis. We get the new subclass, the stasis subclass type. Let me go back. Yeah, so this is the new subspecies of Fallen we have, which I believe is Strand based, if I'm not mistaken. And these guys fly around, which is an interesting thing, which I think we'll see in a later gameplay trailer. But this is actually crazy. Like, despite how this looks, like, it's interesting that the Bungie's deciding to change this like subtypes, because we have the fallen species as themselves, and each of those houses usually follow some sort of like archetype or something like that, or how like different looks and stuff like that. Now with the introduction of this was it House of Exile, we get Strand kind of base stuff. So it's interesting lore wise that the Fallen have access to Strand tech now. We have the homie. Okay, yeah. So he's saying I'm not human anymore is interesting, because I feel like he's connected to the Vex somehow. Like my theory, and don't quote me on this, but this will be awesome if I'm correct. He's the first Vex humanoid, like first Vex human hybrid that is not exo and is human. You know how Asher Mir was like converting into Vex? Well, I think the Vex converted into human and are kind of trying to replicate human. So that's my theory. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. It's nice to see interesting stuff. We're getting more deep sight mechanics, which is interesting. Not deep sight, sorry. I think it actually is deep sight. More like Throne World-esque type mechanics, which is nice. Insight, whatever you want to call it.
Comply.
We're getting, looks like a new hand cannon. New Vex subtype as well, which is interesting. We're getting like these subspecies types. And I'll go into more detail after this, but this is one of the types of Vex. This plus the Fallen are some either something I feel like was mentioned in the lore through the Strand exotics that came out during Lightfall, but that's a whole different thing. I could be over speculating for that. Looks like we have this new attack type of Vex as well. Let me, if I could go back. They look a lot like ghosts, or like the Vex's thing to kind of, or they look like the Throne World ghosts, or like it's the, or like what's his name, Amaru. They look like Amaru, kind of. This is interesting. That's not an exotic or anything. That looks like it's a Scorch Cannon, but a Void Cannon now. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a Void Cannon. Looks like it. Okay. This just looks like a straight up weapon. That doesn't look anything different, but it kind of is modeled after the archetype of... That might be the same archetype as Messenger and No Time to Explain. And it looks very much like one of the No Time to Explain skins. That's Strand. Okay, that's the same. This is interesting. So this looks like it could switch between multiple different types, because it shot arc and it shot stasis, which is interesting. Are we getting something? Or no, it shot an explosion of stasis. Okay. And swapped there, and then created crystals on explosive death. Interesting. So that's an exotic. That might be the seasonal exotic we get, or the season pass exotic we get.
Commander, remove your scornful.
Ooh, let me get a look at that boss. How do I? No. Yeah. So this looks a lot like, is it the Technocrat? That looked like the Technocrat. These guys flying, which is interesting. The Vandals are not flying. These remind me a lot of like Star-Lord from Marvel Rivals, of like how he's like kind of floating, and then he has the two pistols. It's interesting.
Blindfold.
Yeah. Love was it New Land Beyond? Looks, I will say I love the theme of these weapons because they look Deepstone themed, and I love the Deepstone style, and I love the white on black. It just looks good. Okay. Let me get to those enemies, because those enemies are new. Yep. So we have Fallen combined with Strand. So that's gonna be interesting to fight, because those guys might sever. Oh no! It looks like is that us suspending or them suspending? I think that might be. I don't see any effects. No, okay, so it might be. Oh, we're getting Subjugator type Fallen. Interesting. So we're getting Stasis and Strand. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see how that goes, cuz I thought it was just going to be Strand, but it's also Stasis too. So that's the new subspecies type, which is interesting. What else? We got the Dark Matter Ball that everyone's been talking about right now because it's the new thing. Interesting to see how the movement techs are going to be for this. First off, love the weapon. Second off, it looks like you can cancel that whenever you want too. I want to see if you still get your jump, or what kind of jump you get. Because if it's like 100 jump where you get one and then two, or is it just one big jump? There's a whole bunch of stuff I can worry about, but I really don't care. Love the weapon though, Deep Stone ish themed. Looks like Raytech Osprey. I think that's the weapon, the rocket launcher from the Nightfall. From Nightfalls, but we'll see. Yep. Elder Strand. Yep. Yep. Okay, so it looks like he came from the collapse. Okay, so yeah, he came from the collapse. That looks like it's confirmed. So we'll see, cuz it's going to be interesting, cuz yeah, it looks like he either died by getting hit by a train and then the 9 brought him back. He died during the train during a collapse, or this is him from different universes dying in like different multiverses, and he has like conscious awareness of all the multiverse and can sense his other types. Like, look at that. So we might be looking at a multiverse type thing. Yeah. And what I mentioned, old Chicago, was like the theming. What I'm kind of getting from it is this is Chicago. So I'm wondering if it's he died in old Chicago and then was brought to Kepler alive because he's from the collapse. That's interesting. That's an interesting theory. So we get pre-order. What are some of these weapons? Yeah. Okay. So this is Renegade. We'll go cover that after. But looks like we're getting hand cannons, an auto rifle, pulse rifle. I think that was the pulse rifle we saw. I think that was the hand cannon we saw, and I think that's the auto rifle they covered in the live stuff. But this is interesting. I'll cover that in a little